The more we do away with visas and borders, the more we are going to know each other.
Viewers and subscribers, welcome once again to Think Tank TV. Now, recall yesterday we shared a video of the arrival of Julius Malema in Kenya, where he went to meet with PLO Lumumber and other Pan Africanists, all in a bid to kickstart the Pan African movement, which is actually a platform to foster unity among African leaders in order to make them to become a significant player in the international space. Yes, you would agree with me that Africa has all it takes to become a significant player in the international space. But like PLO Lumumber would say, the division of Africa is what makes the Western world thrive. What division are we talking about? Now, the truth of the matter is that it has been found out that the differences in the currencies, the policies, the army, and the borders among African nations have hindered them from becoming a significant force in the international space. But the likes of PLO Lumumber and Julius Malema have commenced the Pan-African movement. And I told you we're going to bring you update to that. Now, Julius Malema was given the podium to speak, and he spoke truth to power. He said a lot of issues about the politics in Nigeria. He spoke about South Africa, how South Africa became liberated from the hands of their colonial masters. He spoke about the issues in Israel versus Hamas, even though he had his opinion about it. He spoke about a lot of issues around the African countries. And I think you want to listen to it because it is very detailed and insightful. Please do want to hit the comment section. Let's get to know what your thinking is about the words of Julius Malema in the Pan-African Movement Summit, and we shall be continually here to serve you. My name is Moses, and this is Think Tank TV. Don't go anywhere. I'll be coming back to wrap up the video.
At the age of 9 and 10, police raided my house, male police, found us sleeping. They were looking for young boys and men. In my house, there were no men, there was only women. My grandmother had 9 children, 8 of them were women. When they searched a full house full of people, they couldn't find men. And those male police had to strip off my mother, take off her clothes in front of me for them to confirm if she's a real woman. If you lived that experience, you will know what the Palestinians are going through. Forceful removal is what we lived in South Africa. We know what it means. Where you wake up tomorrow, yesterday you had all house, land, everything. Tomorrow you have nothing. That's what we're seeing now in Palestine. So many people, 9,000 people killed in weeks. No international warrant of arrest has been issued. The war between Ukraine and Russia has taken only 1,500 people died in Ukraine, 9,000 in Palestine. Yet there is a warrant of arrest against President Putin. He has never bombed a hospital. He has never bombed a refugee camp. Let me tell you, even if the president of Hamas runs into a refugee camp, you have no reason to bomb a refugee camp. Once he runs into a refugee camp, that's the end of it. You're like, guys, you have to stop. We have to find another means to go and take him out there. Once he runs into a hospital, you have to stop. Because here is a pregnant woman who walks into a hospital. She's going to give birth. She doesn't know there is a Hamas president there. She's not part of the people who arrange that the Hamas president must go into a hospital. She gets killed for no reason. And then President Ruto says, I'm with Israel. And then you, the young ones in his party, don't stand up to say, but no, it's not done. It's not done. In the ANC, and we got expelled for that. And we regret, no, and we don't have any regret for doing that. The elders have got a potential of destroying the future of young people. That's why they say they've got Africa 2060 vision. But they won't be there in 2060, so I don't know what they are talking about. So you, if you are to be the youth, and the youth that must be taken serious, you must from time to time call your elders to order.
This is a very critical point I had to come out to pinpoint. The issue of young people not having the ability to come out and speak the truth. Most people are always afraid because they feel that when they come out and speak the truth, they may be deprived of some opportunities. But here's what you must know. These guys have weaponized poverty so that they can always ensure that we keep doing their bidding. And the earlier we realize it, the better for us.
That's how Africa is going to realize its potential. These elders have destroyed our continent through dictatorship, through family arrangements, and the youth kept quiet. South Africa was liberated by the youth. When we have time, we'll share that story. The ANC in 1940s was dead until Mandela came in as the youth, and Walter Sisulu and O.R. Tambo developed what they called a program of action that revived the ANC, and ANC adopted it in 1949. ANC was a sweetheart organization which used to fight through letters to London. This youth said we must take up arms and fight now. The ANC agreed in 1949. That's what made the ANC to be what it is. When they got arrested in the 60s, down the line in the 60s, Steve Biko emerged, was a young person, black consciousness. That led to 1976, that was the youth. What O.R. Tambo said to the youth of South Africa in the 80s, render South Africa ungovernable and unworkable. The youth did that. In 1985 and 1986, South Africa had a permanent protest every day to a point where martial law was declared, state of emergency, twice in 1 year. Because they declared the first one, the youth were saying, we don't care, do what you want to do. They had to declare another one because they thought the youth didn't hear. But they heard and they were defiant. And that's what brought 1994 because of the youth of the 80s. So the youth of Kenya can make Kenya politics to be what you want them to be. President Ruto is a new, fresh air. Because, it has always been like it has to go between the Odingas and the former president, the Kenyattas. So when he came in, we're like, we now are graduating the, what do you call it, family dynasty. We said the family dynasty arrangement is going away. We said this was a perfect Pan-Africanist. I'm not denouncing him as not being a Pan-Africanist. All I'm saying is, stay true to what you are saying. It doesn't matter how many people are criticizing you or not. We still have a lot of hope in him. We still think that a right thing can be done. We need to de-dollarize. He said he's going to de-dollarize. We need to do away with the dollar. He said he's going to do away with the visas. We have to do away with the visas because Africa must be one. I must wake up. It's a 4-hour flight from South Africa to here. I must wake up in South Africa and come and eat lunch here. And then in the afternoon, get into a plane, go back. So why should it be an issue? All of these visas, borders must be done away. You know why they think we are xenophobic? We don't know each other. The more we do away with visas and borders and all of that, the more we're going to know each other and realize that we're actually one thing. There's nothing I'm seeing in this room which I've not seen in South Africa. There's nothing that suggests to me as I wake up, as I walk the streets of Nairobi, that suggests something different to me. It's my first time here. But it's as if I've been here many times. Why? Everything is familiar. These are my people. This is me. And to say you welcome me in Kenya is like welcoming me in Johannesburg. This is my home. Everywhere else in Africa, it's our home. You, the youth, must come and learn in South Africa. South Africans must come and learn here in our universities, cultural exchanges, and we must start to listen to the same music, watch the same movies, to do away with this Western imperialism that manifests itself through songs and television and movies and all of that. Nigerians have got it. They are on the right track. They need our support. How do we support them? We must join them in producing our own movies, our own music, and do away with Beyonce. I saw Honorable Member Senator saying she saw Beyonce in Dubai and did not even get starstruck. It's supposed to be like that. She's a human being. So we sing one of our own. But you do that once you start having a self-respect, to know that we all are. We can do what they are doing. And we can even do it much more better than them, because we are a gifted nation. Remember, we're surviving under difficult conditions of colonialism and imperialism. Imagine, as we survive under such conditions, imagine if there were no such conditions. Would have been something else in this world. The world will be coming to nil here because of who we are. So many resources. 90% of the platinum of the world is found in Africa. You can look at what they do in Niger. They take over through a revolutionary coup, remove the French puppets, remove the French, and then increase the price of uranium by huge percentages, because France was stealing it and buying it with low amounts of money. Then the boys come and say, no ways, you're going to pay market price. As a result, in less than a year, because of political decisiveness, that's what politics can do. In less than a year, Niger is now one of the biggest, the fastest growing economy in Africa because of Revolutionary Act. So all these clowns that have colonized us don't need anything. They need a political will to say, this is us, this is where we stand. You either like us or you don't like us. But we are not going to trade with people who disrespect us. You're going to respect us and you're going to trade with us in this way. So that's you, the youth, who must radicalize the politics of the ruling party and the opposition and say anything that is not African, we're not going to associate with it, including the coups that are happening in the continent where a French puppet is replaced by another French puppet. We must not support such nonsense. Like it happened in Guinea, Conakry, where a president is removed. We thought, oh, maybe there's something, only to realize there's another puppet of France who's coming to take over the country without introducing anything drastic and revolutionary to turn around the Guinea Conakry, except to say, no, that president wanted to increase his years in office. That's why we stopped him. What is revolutionary about that? Because this term of offices, of saying you serve 2 terms, 3 terms, they are also not ours. They were imposed on us. So it must not look like when you say a person can't serve more than 2 terms, you think you are revolutionary. No. The people themselves will make their own setup of how they want to be ruled. That's fine. If they want 2 terms, it's okay. But don't speak like it's a God-given fact that we must serve only 2 terms because America said so or Britain said so. No. You remove a president in Guinea-Conakry, replace it with a French puppet.
In as much as Julius Malema has been speaking the truth regarding the underdevelopment in Africa, I have some exceptions as well about the fact that Russia has a hand in most of the things that have happened in Africa. Most of the French puppets in Africa has been kicked out, but I also know that Putin has an interest in most of the coup that has happened. And I just hope that in less than no time, his interest is not going to be overshadowing the ultimate interest of the so-called revolution they've been talking. Let's keep hearing Julius Malema. I'll be back to wrap up the video.
You have a war going on. So many. I said to you, 1,500 Ukraine, Russia, 9,000 in Palestine. I think it's more than that in DRC. In DRC, no one is saying anything because the barbarics, the monkeys are killing each other. We don't care. Let them finish each other there. It can't be that if there is a different race being killed, there is noise. But when there are Africans being killed, it doesn't matter African on African or state on state, tribe on tribe. As long as there is death, people being killed, there can't be any amount of justification. No one has ever said anything about that death which is happening in DRC, where thousands are being killed No one can say anything. You know why? It's an African life. It's a cheap life. They don't care about it. So we'll have this conversation one day. These guys are showing me the time there at the back. So I have to disappear. But thank you for coming. And then let's have the conversation continuing in whatever different forms. Don't worry about me, whether they attack me or they don't attack me. I don't care about those things. When they sit alone, they know I'm telling the truth. And as long as they know that, I'm very happy about it. Thank you.
You've seen it for yourself. Now, you would agree with me that Africa has all it takes to become a significant force in international space. But because of all these bureaucratic bottlenecks and issues, the division among Africa, they have become a sleeping dogs all the years. Like Julius Malema just said, Niger has become one of the fastest growing economies in the world by virtue of the critical decisions they took in their political space, which has brought about a revolution of their economy. I just hope that the Pan African movement that is being introduced by Julius Malema and PLO Lumumber will bring about the freedom of Africa. Please do want to go to the comment section because we want to really know what your thought is about the current happenings in the African politics, and we shall be continually here to serve you. Thank you so much to all our viewers and returning subscribers. We don't take it lightly. My name again is Moses, and this is Think Tank TV. See you on our next video. Bye for now.